Interlagos. We are live. Hi Pirate, hi Pierre. So, in the Lexus, GT3 Lexus, like always. I mean, it's the fifth round of the championship, and because I'm having quite a lot of fun with the Lexus, I'm not gonna do some BOP tourism, and I'll just keep Lexusing. But for the GT3 fixed that I'm doing on Tuesdays, I think I will do some further BOP tourism next week, because after driving a bit of Lambo, I don't feel too confident about it. Yeah, 10 minutes to go. Let's do one or two quali runs, I guess one. I've not done quali yet. I've just done full few laps here. Yeah, the FPS is a bit weird here in the night, but not sure what's going on, because I see very consistent 138 with G-Sync. Should be smooth, but maybe it's the night and the lights that are kind of dancing around a little bit on these details that make it feel like it's stuttering. Fala Urban. So for once I should have one of the better cars for this track. The Lexus is supposedly quite good around here, but it can never go smooth, so they had to make this event or this round of the championship in the evening and night conditions to lower the track temp and complicate things for Lexus, because once again Lexus is pretty nice on the tires and it does not hit up the rears, especially the way that let's say Porsche or Ferrari or a Lambo do. But I think it's gonna be most likely, I mean, could there be Lambo? Yeah, I think it's gonna be Aston versus Lexus battle with maybe a Lambo mixed in. Let's see. Which races do I prefer, night or day? I want all of them. It's really cool to have racing in different conditions. But I guess as humans we are just hardwired to appreciate sunrises and sunsets. So it's pretty nice to have conditions like that. Well, I hope we're gonna get a sunset. In the practice server we have this 1830 clock, and the sunset begins at like 1730. So I believe when we join the server it will be still sunny, and then Quali will be in the sunset, and then in the race it's gonna go into the night. Let's see. Hi Logi. And yeah, Pierre, indeed. Well, the 2.4 hour events with times 10 time acceleration are a pretty nice thing to have. Yeah, 2 laps and it's still barely touching 60 Celsius. Gonna be a long quali. You prefer the headlights from RF2? I mean, I don't think there is really that great deal of a difference. Well, in RF2 some cars have... Oh, nice lag. I guess somebody's joining the server. These server join lags are still present, or more apparent now and then. But like the LMP2 from R Factor 2 always had such tiny or like such dim headlights that it was sometimes very difficult to see anything. I think in LMU it's better. Michi with unintentional or intentional whisper fail. Yeah, I don't know, Pierre. I would need to see some broadcasts. There hasn't really been... Has there ever been, like, actual broadcast? The only thing that came close was when Overtake GG tried to stream the Qatar 6-hour first ever driver swap event, and they failed with one entry. Or one driver of one entry. So the guy basically was the commentator and broadcaster of the event. But one day maybe they renamed the R Factor Live to something else live, and then we have official broadcasts of these races. I don't know. Or they are counting on our streaming to do the coverage. But streaming never shows the external... Well, except the team races, of course. If you're not driving and showing the external cameras. This curb, the track limit is so severe there. And then you invalidate the next lap immediately. So 2 laps. What is this fuel? I'm a bit confused. I will take a bit higher fuel ratio for the actual qualifying. Just need 2 liters extra. That front left is still frozen. Yeah, we're doing now low 35s. I think the Hotlap, like the setup shop Hotlaps, are 33s for Quali. So I need to gain a second and a half. Well, maybe a bit less, because this is colder or too cold for the optimal grip. I just overdo the front right there. Anyway, going for a low 44. That's acceptable. A practice session doesn't count. It's only quali and race sessions. I'm really getting caught up with these cuts because the seat is so much to the left that if the exit is on the left, then it's then I cut a lot, but I don't get a cut. But on exits like this, like I just take normal exit and it's immediately cut. Now I just barely avoided it, just because of how big portion of the car is on the right side. And I'm just used to driving open wheelers with centered seat. It's crazy how sometimes this track limit still haunt me, because the steering wheel is not in the center of the car. I don't know, this exit, not sure if it's fixable. We need to add some rear right backer or something to just force the rotation, but that's not really the way to do it. Anyway. Pit stop practice, yeah. One minute to go. Yeah, let's see how this goes. I think I have calculated the strategy. Wait, we are doing 35s, I guess, in the race. And it's a 100-minute race, and we are spending, let's say, a minute in the pit stops, and we are doing 35s. Yeah, 63, but because hypercars can be in a different place, it could be 64 laps. Is this a Lexus party? Lyden did 34.2 in prac session. Yeah, that's probably full tank. But hopefully it's quali. Yeah, let's see about the Ford. I don't know. On fixed setup, it's off pace for sure, but maybe it's better on open. We will see. Yeah, we did that rainy GT3 fixed race around here, and I was in the Ford. And what actually happened there? I think I went from, I don't know, P20 to P5 as it started to rain, and we have nailed the pit stop. Yeah, and then I got pressured from behind and crashed off a bit. But pace wasn't there, especially in the wet. Oh! David in the Glicken house. Let's see. That's potentially a winning car around here. Let's see. Gonna be fun. Let's load the Quali setup with the J later added, because I wanted a little bit of a click on something, but I cannot show because I cannot leak. How hot is the track? 26. Why is it colder now? It was 28 in the night, I think. I don't know. It's still not great even with open. Copy. Hi Dewald. You do the same but on your phone. Yeah, I like my calculator. I said 64 laps, right? Yeah. And one stint on full push is like 33. So it will be 33, 31-ish. Pretty much 2 full stints. And I keep trying not to do all 4 tire change, but it never really works out. So probably also here it's just despite low temps. Now it went up to 28.4. Despite lower track temps, probably still better to change all 4 tires. Urban, I prefer, I mean, I will always prefer more downforce, you know, higher speed, more downforce, but GT3s are now on these best tires, which in my opinion are the best tires in sim racing, and this is now the best GT3s in sim racing, while the hypercars are still a bit broken in the bad R factor 2-way when it comes to lockups and sliding and big steep angles at high speeds and so on. So I'm patiently waiting for the hypercar tire update. Meanwhile, I'm indeed enjoying some GT3s, especially the Lexus. It really feels like, I said earlier today, it feels like LMP4. While some other cars, like the Lambo, let's say, feel front-wheel drive touring car, you know, understeer on the entry, and then you go on power, and it just goes straight on the exit with big understeer. Lambo, McLaren, I guess Ferrari is working similarly. I need to try some Aston. It used to be a great car, probably it still is. I mean, pace is good at the moment. About the millimos, well, it's really convenient. Because, well, I have type 1 diabetes and I need to monitor that. And it used to be a big problem because I wasn't able to measure it mid-race. But then I got this continuous sensor. So I could check it on phone, but phone is not that convenient. And now through SimHub it's just displaying my data here, and it's really much easier for me to have that. Even though the race blood sugars are usually all over the place, but it's just important to know if I need to eat something during a pit stop or yeah, it's a big help. Yeah, not much has been said about Hypercar Tyre update, and it feels like they are kind of fully focused on ELMS content, so I would assume more LMP2 updates. And you have all these classes, LMP2, then GT3 Pro and Pro M, and I don't know how exactly it works. And all that needs to be sorted, and the LMP2 in ELMS is less restricted than the WEC one. So physics has to be developed on different cars. Yeah, let's see. Yarnay Jr. luckily no diabetes. I hope that never happens. Right. Yeah, we have one set for the race, one fresh set for the race. Which means... what does that mean, actually? I need to decide what to do. Cannot burn too much of this set. LMP3 of course as well, yeah. Try to bring them more slower towards the temperatures, not to wear them, because they do wear more when they are cold. For 2.6 at Le Mans, well, that's not... it's not the most disastrous. Well, sub 4 is the big target, you know. But it's a long track, so... and there are many scary corners where you can easily lose or gain quite a bit of time. And then the track limits at the chicanes. If you know how they work, it's instant couple of tenths across the track. I see, Pierre. Yeah, that happens often, right? It appears during pregnancy, but then most of the times it gets away or goes away. Easy, Erne, you... is the 4 minute or sub 4 minute too scary? I mean, to be honest, it's quite difficult, yeah. Maybe it's the esports target. But yeah, the LMP2 is quite crazy in ELMS. It's not that far off the hypercars, and it can maybe challenge the Van Vales and so on at some tracks. I guess it's now time to start clocking some lap times, and temps should be up within 1 to 2 laps. I'll run out of the time anyway. GT3 can challenge Van Vales. Nah, it's not that bad. Hi Joao. Well, on some tracks it's a good fight between Glickenhaus and Van Val, but then again, Glickenhaus is actually one of the fastest hypercars around Interlagos. So who knows if there is not one track where the Van Val is actually competitive, but nobody has found out yet. Yeah, the track is quite interesting. You really it really teaches you how to use the front tires. Because it kind of forces you, if you have a lot of R factor 2 muscle memory, to push a bit harder into some corners and then maybe try to rotate with the rear, but on this tire model it doesn't work anymore. So patience is very important. Purple sector 2. Yeah, the Lexus is really good in sector 2, but it will struggle a bit in the straight line. Feels good going uphill, knowing that you have the provisional pole, but before you cross the line, somebody improved Lyden. Ay ay ay. Well, 2 more attempts. Slightly deep into the last corner, but a good lap. One more. Grip. Track limit. And it's 3 cuts. Okay, well. Ooh. What a Lexus party today. 7/10 to the Lambo. Well, I mean, arguably majority of the ultra quick people are in the Lexuses. Anyway, I don't think I could I was able to gain the 10th. Would need to do something better on the tire prep. What about the Mercedes? Yeah, let's see. I had to go with it around Fuji on the fixed setups, and it wasn't too bad, but I don't know. Anyway, what do we do with the start? Well, about the tourism, like Lyden, myself and Huben always were with the Lexus, but then some others are touring around a little bit. Custom setup, race load. And now I decide what to do with the tires. Something cheeky maybe. So the right side tires are struggling a lot more than the left side. Let's see what people do, but it kind of makes sense, right? To either to only change the right side at the pit stop, or to put fresh right side. Yeah, let's see. think I'm gonna try like this. Shouldn't be too bad. We're beating Lyden today. We have beaten him in the previous rounds consistently, right? Either by his mistake or by pace. So tank is full, tires are on. TC is what it is. Lyden is on the inside. Yeah, let's have a good one here. Is it Glick on pole? I didn't check. Hi Lazarus. But I wouldn't be surprised if David has done something extra with the Glick and put it there, because it's for whatever reason it's competitive around Interlagos. One last sip of water. I'm not sure about David streaming. He doesn't really stream often. Why is the green still there if it's... that's weird. Anyway. Green, green, green. Drum on the left. Nice tank slapper for Lyden. And we are indeed beating Lyden, at least for some seconds. Into the lead. Man, it feels to be good to lead like a high-profile race now and then in LMU. Did Huben got killed? Ah, poor man. The guy cannot catch a break. And Jack as well. Yeah, that was a big hypercar mess, which was expected, to be honest. Yeah, there are only 4 Lexuses there. I think there were 7 in top 8, or 6 at least. Wasn't the best last corner. Where is he going? Daniela, I don't know if I should tell. Oof. Yeah, that's the Lexus. That's the Lexus moment. Actually, that's just a classic GT3 moment, but I've successfully avoided that snap for the whole practice, and now I got it in the race, but held it together. Yeah, 4/10 is enough of a gap, I hope. Lyden is so late on the brakes, like I got scared a bit looking at his closing speed on me. Nice exit. It would be nice if we just pull away from P3 a little bit and then we can battle. No, left tires are the Quali tires. I just took the new ones on the right. So all good. Yeah, I got 2 fresh new tires and 2 Quali tires still for the pit stop, if I decide to swap. Okay, place is not bad. I hope Lyden will not out-fuel save me now. Alex in P3 is saving a bit better. but that's not the biggest of the problems today. Martin, it's the blood sugar and it's exploding upwards for whatever reason. Actually, I know why. It was dropping a bit, then I ate 2 dates, just in case. And then it started to realize, oh, why not just accelerate upwards? But you know, always a bit of pressure and stress and stuff like that increases because adrenaline and things like that affect the glucose levels. For type 1 diabetes anyway, I wouldn't have it if it was not a medical condition. And that's a yellow track limit. Interesting. Quarter a point. Lyden is fuel saving behind a bit better. I brake at my preferred braking point and then I see the Lyden just steaming into my mirror bigger and bigger. Then I leave the brake a little bit, but he always uses a different line there, which is very interesting. The glick. But you cannot believe it. That's either be killed, but yeah, that Ferrari was completely sideways. Who was that? Dario. Yeah, sorry to the Valkyrie behind. I was busy trying to find my murderer. Well, we start the traffic by traffic ticket. Unlucky. I kind of I hoped he would stay behind. He kind of seemed like he would stay behind, and then he just sent it and he was fully sideways, and like, what can I do? treat justice. That was close. Lyden got dived as well, but at least the hypercar wasn't fully sideways. Would be nice to get some draft. But that has been the first wave of the hypercars. Oh! Thank you. The justice is restored. I kind of squeezed him towards the outside, but I learned that from Verstappen. So don't blame me. And I even gave him some space for the dive. But Aloma is sticking with us. Shield is not too far either, but is using more fuel marginally. Yeah, that's Lyden doing his one mistake per race. Though sometimes he does maybe two. I'm looking in the mirror way too much. And now I have to look in the mirror once again. Oh, shield died. I broke way too early. I guess it's illegal to overtake through there anyway. I will let him have it. Just let's pull away from a Loma. We don't need that pressure. Game crashed, oh no. Ah, I see. Lyden is on less wing. Nice catch. Or is he trying to make sure that the race is one lap shorter? I don't like the gaps though. I just realized I have the speedo on, I never have it on. I left it on to see the engine temperatures, but then forgot to shut it off. But oh well, a bit of duplicated data won't harm many. Hypercars round 2. But it's a smoking glick. Oh no. That's not gonna last long, potentially. Half a point for that. That's excessive. Hi ZKJ. Race has been going quite well, apart from being pushed out of the lead by the hypercar in the first wave of traffic. Copy Michi. Enjoy the apex. Just dive, Lyden. Around outside, even better. I'm not going to complain about traffic yet. Maybe a bit later. Ooh, Lyden. What is that setup? What is he doing? I mean... just stay alive? Okay. I mean, it's not difficult to make a setup that's a tenth quicker, but completely kills you every third lap, you know? I mean, I had one snap into that corner, Lyden had two, so... maybe it's not that different. But yeah, he has less rear wing for sure. I was on his toe and I couldn't close in on him. But like he overcorrected, and the last thing I saw was him going straight towards the barrier, but yeah, he saved it, luckily. But if that happens 2 times to you, then it's hard to keep the same pace after. I'm too kind. Mean brake bias. Yeah, I don't have mean brake bias. It just doesn't feel too good. And I'm understeering again. For another half a point of a cut. I've been ignoring the chat a little bit. My apologies. It's quite a hectic race. I don't worry too much. I mean, usually on the Tuesday streams I can chat a lot more because it's just for fun, doing the dailies and so on. This one has slightly higher stakes. It's still only the bragging rights, but you know. Need to prove that the Go setups are quick enough to beat all the pros. Even though I did one or two clicks. I always click like less to less max brake force. I think I use around 90, 92. Just to have less of a tendency to hit massive ABS. And then I click here and there. Did I click softer A or B maybe? But it's fun. It's really fun. Like I spent 3 hours today on this track doing like full tank and 5 to 8 lap runs to test different things in setup, and nothing really stood out. Like everything was basically giving me same lap times. I even tried less wing and it was marginally slower, but I did a mistake, so everything was kind of same quick. And then I just loaded the Go setup. And, well, I was about to improve by a 10th or so compared to my setup work that I've done in the past on Span, Le Mans and so on. So I just took the Go setup with 1 click or 2 clicks here and there. And it's, well, allowing me to still be in the lead, even though I do lack a little bit of pace, I think. But it's really a 10. like it was in Quali. But I'm stable, more or less, and Lyden is drifting around a bit. Focus, copy, copy. Would be easy to focus if I was driving the Ford, you know. That was terrible joke. But I tried. Yeah, Lyden got some rhythm back. But I'm much more comfortable in the last corner, I think. Always gain a 10th. Which is very important. What are the tire temps saying? The smoking click goes through again. Indeed, Dennis. Dennis, did you get crashed out in lap 1? But yeah, I'm super happy to have the Lexus because I don't really like most of other cars in GT3. I mean, they're really good, but just the balance-wise. I keep saying I'm the front-engined GT3 guy. This just feels more natural. I didn't know where he wanted to go. But all good. Ah, I see, Dennis. I thought I saw you on the entry list before. Mercedes better. Maybe one day I give it a shot. Let's try the Lyden line. I was too afraid to take the apex. Now I'm all over the place. it wasn't best. I have to say it, traffic is quite unlucky today. Waiting for the dive bomb from hypercar. And that's a cut as well. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have 30 illegal laps after the race, and it's still gonna be positive safety rating gain. But well, that's how the track limits are programmed. You have to keep it 3 green warnings per lap, and then you know you're doing the good lines. All 4 tires at stop done, I don't know yet. But that seems to be the meta. And I have no idea what's going on behind, but there are 2 Fords in top 8. What's that flashing headlight? Did he kill Lyden? Alright, a bit of a breather. That braking line actually works quite well. Straighten it up a bit and then bringing to the apex. My right side tires are now struggling. How are we with track limits? Around half. Well, let's keep it there. But yeah, I think we have to swap all tires. Yeah, the Merc No, it's really a weird car. I actually really appreciate it around Fuji, around Sector 3. Those corners are so weird, but with the Merc, they feel fine. On the CDI in-game setup at least. I didn't try anything else. Well, I tried the fixed default setup at Spa on the release day and that was horrendous. Stretch this by a lot, but I don't think it really makes any sense. Yeah, I think the Merc, I think why it works so well in Fuji, or at Fuji, is because it's really good on the entry, especially if it's like curved braking zone. You can really use its strength. It's the smoking click again, I guess, ahead. But yeah, you need to straight line all the exits. If you go on throttle with Merc, you get just that last bit of rotation, but then it just goes straight. But if your corners are curved braking zone into a straight exit, like several corners at Fuji, then that's great. Right, so 34. It's gonna be max 30 laps in the second stint. Oh, I have repair body. Interesting. And the Lohmann and Palesny are doing a lap or two more. If they don't change one side, they can stay ahead. Wait, what? Where are my Quali tires? Ah, wait. You cannot mix and match, right? Once the... Wait. Once the tire is used on one corner... Okay, let's not have a brain explosion here, so... Can I take the Quali tire on the right side? I can. I see. It would be nice if I could change the tires around. But I guess left to right tires are different. Yeah, makes sense. I don't know why I keep always thinking that it's just 4 equal tires and then wherever you put them, that's it, but obviously that's not the case. The dimensions can be different front to rear. I'm not sure about left to right construction. There we go. New mediums on left, Quali mediums on the right. And it's a bit of a shorter stint anyway, so that's fine. That's all fine. Normally wouldn't have an issue with switching rotation. Okay. Yeah, I mean it slicks anyway, so how much of internal difference can you have in the carcass of the tire and so on? Oops. Lyden closing in. Well, I hope Lyden had all new tires for the first stint and now he will just have old ones from Quali. Box, box, box. Lyden in as well. Ah, yay. Okay. It's a bit unfortunate. We lost so much time with Lyden in the first stint, battling and drifting the rear around. And side by side should have cleared P3 and P4, so we would have like 7, 8, 9 second gap, so even if they don't change left side, it's still gonna be fine, but let's see what happens now. Ugandan TCR. It will be lovely to race. Cold tires, let's not bin it at the pit exit. Oh, the car ahead has cold tires as well. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. He's been more comfortable. That's a problem. He's been more comfortable for the whole stint on the brakes. I expected much less grip, but grip was there. Now I cannot even send it because if I go for the apex, we're gonna lose P2 and P1 to LMU and Pelesny.
ABS.
That was the worst outlap of my life. Stupid. And they are still out, right? They will be ahead, but then they will have 0 tire temp. Well, Lyden has been sanding it since the start. He had no problem with completely full sand everywhere. So at some point he was going straight into the barrier, out of the lead, but with his confidence he got it back. With my... I wouldn't call it stupidity, I just have too much of survival instinct or something. I should rather say I didn't practice it enough. Braking point out of the pit lane. That's something that's ultra important, you know. And you practice it every lap, but you never focus. On the out laps you just like drive around with the brain off. But you should be practicing the first braking point on the cold tires. Now let's see how far off the lead we are. But I would assume that they have to change both sides, Pelesny and LMU. Tommy exits the pits already at 50 Celsius, right? Where are they? There they are, 4 seconds ahead. With less virtual energy. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. The Glick is not smoking anymore. David has changed his radiator. Good move. Quadruple slipstream. Well, it's triple, but still. Oof. If I got stuck there, then would be pretty much rip for my chances of P1. Luckily they didn't really defend. So they indeed changed all tires, P3 and P4. That was unlucky traffic now again. I would be on Lyden's rear. Yeah, it is a bit of a Lexus Cup. And in Hypercar it's a Glick Cup, even though there is only one driver with the Glick. Didn't know that anti-cut was that aggressive. Dear traffic. One more and I will start crying about the unlucky traffic again. 1.4. Let's take one cut. We are on schedule with cuts anyway. Five to 6 degrees, yeah, I would wish for a bit more temperature, but I mean it's, yeah, now it's top 5. Lexi once more, so it doesn't matter too much. But it's not really a car that you would take around for a cold Imola morning. He gets them all on the straight, I get them all in the corners. It's... okay, not all, but more on the average. Dear traffic, come on, somebody dive Lyden again. I need 1 second back. Otherwise I will need to drive faster. But I'm not... I have a bit of a skill issue, so I'm not sure if I can drive faster. Corner, and he will get him on the straight. I'm gonna start counting it. You're here for the bop. Well, you are in the correct space. Was that purple lap for Lyden even? 35-1. GT Pro Audi, oh. Oh yes. What a beautiful car for one lap. And I thought I would like the Lambo here, the GT3, because I like the Audi, but it's so much different. Not sure if because of any geometry changes, or is it just the tire. Already on 3.25, uh-oh. Need to save a point for the last 5 minutes. Just in case. Jesper, today on the server I was racing and suddenly a Pedersen went through and I was like, is that a J Pedersen? It was an N Pedersen. And I was like, you never used your middle name, kind of. So, and it was a hypercar, so I knew that it wasn't you. Jesper, when do you join? We need to do some laps. Yeah, I can match Lyden. I can do the same pace as him, but I think I literally lost a second and a half because of traffic. So 3 hypercars to absolutely dive Lyden now through sector 2. Let's go. Two tenths gained. It's something. If I sorted out that understeer, made that corner flat out, would be pretty decent. What's going on with the lights? Is he flashing or is that just the feature of the game? luck is slowly equalizing. Oh, that's gonna be a PB, wow. Cut went green, right? Nice. No, that's the third gear, I think. Shouldn't downshift. Do we have a lap of fuel? Too much? 13... let's see, anyway. We have some pace somehow. Not sure where it came from. Or maybe just Lyden dropped a bit. Headlight set to 4. Yeah, probably I have it like that in the JSON. Need to check it later. Spicy. How many times do I get a hypercar between us in the last corner? But alright, 8 tenths. 13, 14, no, 11 or 12 laps to go, I guess. Then is I have air condition, but unluckily it's 2 doors away, 2 walls away, and the doors have to be closed, so I don't have air condition. Caught that one early on the entry. John, you saw a illegal livery. I wasn't paying enough attention. Yes, but I don't know what to answer. I'm trying my best. Pace-wise, I mean, there is not much more in the car. Then is what saves me is the big fan that I have right besides me. Without that, I would be dead. Jesper, I like your optimism though, and your faith in my pace. I hope this goes extra lap, then I have a % more VE. or 0.5%. Jesper, you just need to make it into the server and do some laps. And then maybe you will carry me. I smell the first bits of slipstream. But his rear wing is inverted, so I outbrake myself like that and it's still matching the PB on the Delta. Son Juan actually not, for whatever reason. It's funny because I had it once, actually 12 years ago, but that was on Logitech DFGT brake pedal, which has like 2 kilograms. So there was, I had no business getting that spasm, but it was a long F1 style Singapore race. And it was Formula Sim racing, so 200 grams. You rest the foot on the pedal and it goes already to the floor. Ooh! I'm gonna take that. Thank you, Lyden. Oof, okay. Now let's hold it. Oh, he's gonna be very angry with himself. But that's his setup. He's been like that for the whole race, on the very edge. Why? Ay, ay, ay. All that hard work for a hypercar to I mean, I don't even know if that was his fault. I just tried to survive. Lyden with the rear wing. Well, I'm still there. Street justice. I guess he was just dived from the hypercar. He got away with it. I thought for the moment that the hypercar would come through. Ah, too shallow switchback. Oh, that's a nice battle. GP to top speed, but at least I mean, I don't know. At the moment I would maybe prefer slightly even more esport setup just to have a bit more top speed, but must be on rear wing 7, which is the minimum. I would appreciate all this traffic to come in Sector 2. How much points do we have? More than enough. One lap to go. Well, that's it, I guess. Yep. 2 laps too much fuel, like we actually were so slow that it was 1 lap less overall. Yeah, sorry for all the audio effects, but yeah, this has been such a good race. I really enjoy those races where 2 cars are very close together on virtually same pace. So it's all about just fully nailing everything. And unfortunately, a little bit of traffic came and took the win away from me. I mean, was it traffic or was it my too early braking out of the box after the pit stop? Thank you chat. Much appreciated. You surely have enjoyed that at least a little bit. Just a shame I couldn't keep it up on the straights. I just need to check what happened. So what was the lap where Lyden spun or half spun? So here he was ahead, then he closed up. Yeah, there it was. Review time indeed. Let me change the scene. Yeah, he just got the moment with the curb. Ah, the damper. The damper didn't do the job. Ah, that's soft suspension or soft damping. Yeah, this side is wink. With this camera, like wink, wink. I don't know how else to make it sound. But well caught. I get through the corner, and here comes. Yeah, I mean, sorry, but that's on him. He pushed me onto this tarmac here, where I basically, yeah. You cannot do that. This is not iRacing. This grip here, this tarmac here just doesn't have enough grip. You cannot use it anymore. So, dear, who are you? I will not try spelling that. Is it C or it's C, right? Latsushka. Who would know? Yeah, and then I was fully opposite lock, trying to keep it up. Yeah, unfortunate. And then Lyden said, "Oh, thank you very much." Turned on the top speed. I was considering it, but nah. All the time I have to give the space, so I gave him the space. But what he does, he doesn't give the space. You know, street justice. Yeah, I will check start. I will check the start, but like, you know, I could, if I did what he did out of that corner, I could just fully run him off the track, but yeah, at the same time the next corner is pretty close, so it's harder to do it here. So if you give space here, then the car on the right side can just floor it, push you off the track. He got a bit of a karma tank slapper there. How does he get oversteer there? Like, I would love a bit of oversteer there. I just get understeer. I mean, he was on minimum wing, so. And then he was on it with the braking today. He just found some braking points. Yeah, he almost had the right to turn in. It was fair enough, you know. Yeah, it's I won't blame him. Like as I said, in the end, it's all perfectly legal and perfectly fair. And it was fairly clean battle. Just a little bit of rubbed paint, and here, like, I wasn't going to yield. I know that he would have been pushed onto that curb, and then I was like, okay, let's outbrake around the outside and have inside for the next one. But then the hypercar comes. Yeah, Lyden just yeah opened up the brake, emerged ahead. Fair enough, you know. Sometimes it makes me feel I need to increase my aggression in the battles, because sometimes I'm lacking a little bit. Just a little bit too clean, but you know, I grew up racing Formula cars where you just cannot push somebody off like that, because you will both crash and spin off with a little bit of a touch. Did I try to dive here? No, very well defended from Lyden. Ah, Dennis, right, you didn't unregister. Oof. Yeah, from then onwards, I don't know, like last lap, I did a bit of a dive, but yeah, this is like the kind of ACC kind of style of grip loss, which is kind of the more realistic type of grip loss. You turn in a bit extra and the front just, you can feel it brrr, like it skids off like in the real car. I really appreciate it. You can really feel it. It slides kind of like in ACC, but you can feel it like RF2 or real life, so it's the best combination of both. I asked for too much of the front axle and it's already quite worn. And then I was like, well, there is a gap. Maybe I should... like, if I broke 20 meters later, I would be side by side. He would have to wait for me and then maybe switch back, or maybe he would turn into my door, but it would be legal, right? No real rulebook here. I could send it, but I was like, no, let's try to keep it possible to break out of it. Am I too old for full sends? I need to learn how to be young again. And then my dear slipstream didn't exist and that's it. Right, race start. You know you are copy. So the usual hypercar mess when they funnel into turn 2. A bit of understeer from, what is this? The Toyota. Come on. And off they go and off they spin, and there is... Why is Huben still with a black car? I never see the Team Nitro with liveries. Ah, the classic reverse onto the racing line. And there goes the server. I will reload. I need to check it. It's very important. +3. Copy. 25 invalid laps. But 30 clean laps. What's going with the standings? I'm leading the standings. Because of one drop round? Christian, I heard that before, but then I disproved it a little bit. Because I instantly won that Formula E Accelerate, and then I won at the LAN event at Maastricht, so that's been disproven. But maybe it has a little bit of a lag. Just checking, like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take it, right? Overall... because there was a problem in the first round with the points not counting. That's why it's like that. Glad I missed it. Okay, let's quickly reload the replay and check that failure to log break. Failure to log brakes. Water. It is a bit of a Lexus supremacy, but I don't know. Is it Lexus, or is it just fast people taking the Lexus because it's good fun? It was a bit of Lambo supremacy at some other tracks, like at Spa there was no chance. And I think at Le Mans there was no chance either, but there was no car, like no driver making that competition. They were all messing up the single or double Hotlap Quali. FTLB. Indeed. With GT3 it's reasonable as ABS is doing stuff, but hypercar, Where are you? Here. Let's check again from Huben. Oh, we checked that already. I wanted to check the inputs. Can you even see the inputs? Yeah, you can. I mean, sometimes it's better not to lock the brakes, but in like overall, I mean, he started to lock the brakes when he realized he was gonna slide rearwards, but that was way too late. Ow. And then you're in the middle, and then it's the worst. Do I have a better view of this? Well, rip. Then, if I may, just check one last thing. How I lost the lead. So I am leading very happily, and here comes the Glickenhaus, and here comes the Ferrari. Yeah, I mean, like, I was like, okay, he's behind, I'm turning in. Uh-oh, he's coming, let's open a bit of the room. Uh-oh, he's fully sideways. He was so sideways, I saw it in the radar, and I just turned out of it. And here comes Lyden. And I almost ram into the poor P3. Come on. Where are you, dear Dario? I mean, like, 100-minute race. You're P2 on the rear wing of the leader. There is the leader of GT3s. Turning in into a very fast corner. What do you do? Not a question. Dan, what will you do if I report? Yeah, that was it's the full Italian stereotype, right? What would the stereotypical Italian do? Well, go for it, right? Ah, so stupid. But okay. Come on, try to find myself again. So if I may, to sleep better. What am I doing here? Wait. I want to find. I want to find the huge moment from Lyden. Yeah, that was funny. Suddenly he decides, well, he's going home. It's such a crazy setup. Like, you can make the setup in such a way that you brake, trail brake, no throttle, and it's gonna stay safe. But you can make the setup in such a way that you need to hover a little bit on throttle to keep it stable. And Lyden was like fully aggressive there. He was coasting and the rear started to dance around. Then he tried to apply a bit of throttle, but yeah, ABS saved him. Nice quick correction. Okay, well, David, what did happen with the Glick in the end? The Glick? Oh, it was a huge fight, I see. Was that the last lap? Ah, the top speed of the Glick. And that's it. David, GG. Nice win. And I guess Dario is now one of the most frustrated Italians today. Should have died when he sent it on me, but the tire model saved him. And I guess he was on your rear for the whole race, but couldn't overtake because of lack of top speed. Okay. Well guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for everything in the chat. Was a good chat, good race. Hope you enjoyed it, even though I ignored you for most of the time because the race was too esports for me to say something. I'm most likely taking the weekend off. Maybe I do the Michi's event on Sunday, but I will see. Not sure if I stream, but more streams next week anyway. Yeah, pray for new hypercar tires. That's the thing I'm looking most forward. That's gonna be so good. I hope they nail it. I hope they do. Because these GT3s, they, like, at least on Lexus, it feels like the impression that I get from watching real life onboards. The way that the rear behaves on the entry onto the apex, it's so good. I hope the hypercars can meet the same standard. Yeah, David, I saw you smoking for the whole time, but, well, luckily you stayed alive. Exit feel is great, entry poor. Yeah. Something with the front, and then, yeah, the rear kind of starts dancing. I think it's still the thing with the RF2 remnants where you got huge rotation if you turned in a little bit on the brakes, but if you turned a bit more, you didn't have the rotation anymore because the front kind of started gripping in an understeery way, and then you gain the rotation again if you turned more. So, like, I think it's still a bit of that, just with the smaller range of slip angles. So, or maybe I'm just dreaming things. 2028. Let's hope it's 2025. Until then, thank you again. Have a nice Friday, a nice weekend. Yeah, pitch related, maybe it is, but surely it's a bit in the tire still. But yeah, anyway, have a nice one. Good night. See you. Bye bye.